welcome to my channel. I'm Alex, and today we're going to be doing part 2 of rewriting my old stories into comics. This episode is draw the first page of my comic with me. So yeah, a couple things that I'd like. Comic page layout, the coloring, and other personal thoughts. So, for the comic page layout, for the first page of my comic, I drew the comic page on paper first, so I'll pop that image up on the screen. Drawing it on paper just helps me figure out what I want to do, just because since I draw traditionally, it's more my element, so I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. I start with paper. But I knew that I wanted a page layout for the first page that wasn't very simple. As you see, I want 3 frames on the first page. I didn't want to just stack them or do anything with like one short one and then 2 long ones. So instead I went with this. I would say for you, if you are making a comic, look at a lot of comics. Find lots and lots of comics, look at their page layout, and find inspiration. So I went to my library and I found 2 books that I really like the layout of and the mood as far as how they change colors. So I checked those out and I can use those as a reference. If you don't want to go to the library or do anything like that, the internet is something that is available to us, so go look up comic page layouts. So I picked this comic page layout, as you can see. I wanted to stay with a mood, so I was just drawing like blue and pinkish purplish flowers, but I changed it to white, orange, and red flowers, just to be like a mood. This entire page is going to mainly be green, blue, orange, and red, which is a wide color palette, but I think that it fits. It gives off kind of fall vibes, which I kind of like. I struggled to draw these flowers, so I just kept drawing them until I liked them, and I finally drew that one white one that I like. So I just copy-pasted it and recolored it, which, this is my comic, so I can cheat as much as I want to. So, another thing that I'd like to address is the line art on this. The line art is very messy because I'm using a new program called Clip Studio Paint. For people who use it, they may recognize it, and if you don't, it says it in big letters up top that I have 21 days left in my free trial. So I'm drawing this comic page on my free trial, just to kind of test out the program. But I learned that for like smoother lines, I like to use, from the pen section, I like to use, I think it's called Turnip Pen, but I like to use that one. For skinny lines, I like to use G Pen. And then for rough, sketchy looking things, I go to that little chalk stick, and I forgot what the name of the brush I use on there is called. But those are the only 3 brushes that I've been using. Some downsides is that you can only have either a color palette or a color wheel. So you see over here on the side how I have these pre-selected colors that I made. I have to keep switching back and forth between my palette and the color wheel, which kind of sucks, but I mean, it's not that much work, so I don't really care. Yeah. I also learned about the shortcut. If you click somewhere or like make a dot, and then you hold shift, it will make a line. Well, you can see where your line will be, and when you want your line to be there, you can either click or tap the screen. Some little keyboard shortcuts. I don't know how you do that if you're drawing on a tablet or a phone. I just know that's how it works when you're drawing on the computer. So yeah. Here I'm drawing the castle. I wanted a very, very detailed castle with lots and lots of, shapes and stuff. So I wanted to keep, I wanted it to be nice and round, but I wanted to have also some type of boxiness to it. So I did this. I'm actually really proud of this castle just because I feel like it's one of the nicest castles I've drawn. This did take a while to draw on my laptop, especially because I'm not that well versed in digital art. Like, I have been practicing with, like, the little animations I did, but ever since I started my YouTube channel, my digital art has just went way down. I don't really do it that much just because I prefer to do traditional art. But I've been trying to practice with like poses and lots of things for comics. Okay, so here I am adding some details. I'm trying to pack in as many details as I can think of into this castle. I want to add a lot of windows and things. I wanted to add like mood lighting to every window, but I decided to go with this simple thing instead. I may continue to edit this page afterwards as I can continue on with this comic making series. But so far right now I think that this little mood lighting looks nice. Truthfully, drawing this one page took me, I think, like 20 days. Not because it really took me that long, but because I also had other things to do. But I think it came out quite nicely. So here I am drawing stairs. I can't really decide if I like the stairs I drew or not. I mean, they're not that bad. I mean, later I go back and kind of fix them some, but I'm not really sure. When they're kind of like straight stairs, it doesn't look right to me when I draw it, but I'm not really sure. Also, sorry about these little pauses in my process. I don't really know what happened there. But now we're adding the text. So for text, I decided to go with a purplish color. I don't know if I'm going to stay with that throughout the whole comic, or maybe if the narration will just be like that. I didn't want to use black because that's the color of the boxes. So I don't know. Okay, so frame 3 is my frame where I got to kind of be lazy and cheat. So I knew that I wanted to zoom in on that window, so I just had to cut the other drawing, paste it here, and then erase what I didn't want to see. So that was very simple. Couple things to take away. Make sure you study other comics to find your frame layouts. You may have an idea in your own head, so go with that. But if you need any inspiration, there's a sea of comics out there. Go check them out. Number 2, try to keep to a color scheme for a page if you're trying to push a mood. Warmer colors kind of can push a more romantic type of mood. More cold colors that are like blues and purples that are not warm toned can push more of a saddening feeling, but it depends on how you use them. They can also be on the other side of the spectrum. And 3. Plan as much of your book as possible before you start the drawing process. I have almost finished scripting the entire story, and it aids very well in figuring out the page layouts and, knowing what I'm gonna do and not wasting my time drawing a page and then ending up getting rid of it because I changed the story. But that's all for today, guys. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. See you next week. It's not going to be another part of this because this is going to take me more than a week to complete and get to the next step.